everyone. I'm Shelly Carroll, and language they wanted to learn, whether it was to lose weight or something like that. If they were successful at a goal before, then we tie that experience and that process they went to with the next one. Okay, so I'm going to show you the class activities, and we'll get to do these. So, okay, so this is the activity. What was the last goal you achieved, and how did you achieve this goal? So you can type in the chat box how you achieved your last goal. And this could be anything. I had students say that they had pieces of paper that they would post every day on their walls and like Post-it notes that had the goal in mind. I actually saw this in Glee as well. Glee is this TV show, and the girl, she wanted to be able to win this competition. So every day she had the name of the competition on her treadmill and everywhere when she woke up in the morning in the mirror. So my students came up with that. My students came up with, they saw some quotes. My students came up with things like they wrote in a diary. So with doing this type of activity, each of them, they write it by themselves, but then they come up to the board, and all around this question, they would write on the board what they achieved, how they achieved the goal. One of them told me about a book they had read about, I guess, giving their goals to the stars every day or something. So we talked about all these different ways, having a life coach, just so many different ways to achieve goals. And we had a really fun discussion and things like that. But it also shows them that there's different ways to achieve goals. That you don't have to do the same process all the time. And it also reminds them of what works for them. Another way, another activity that we did is what did you already do to learn English? And like I said, they went ahead and they tied that to their goal setting statement. One of the pieces that I used with that, okay, so there are certain things that they do, but maybe they don't know that there's other inventive ways out there. So it's good to expose them to different ways people learn English, right? So I really like this article by Bernie Law, and she does the website Gap Fillers. And let me go ahead and put it in the chat box because it's really good. Good article that we saw and that we were able to learn a lot from. Okay, so let me put this is the bit.ly address, and I try to put it specific so that way it's bit.ly A through Z goals. And the reason why is it's called an A to Z of effective language practice. And we talked about these, about learning a language. And my students just loved some of the ideas in there. Like, for example, K was karaoke. And I did a survey and I said, okay, which one of these would you never do? And which of these would you do? And the one that nobody except for one person in 3 classes would do is karaoke. Only one person said they would do that. So, but it gave them some other really good ideas, like practicing their mouth movements in the mirror and stuff like that. And finally, help them to build a support network. Okay, so when you're doing a support network, what I mean is encourage them to find a pal, a buddy. I would ask my students, okay, so who can you speak with in English? Is it a parent? Is it a cousin? Is it a relative, a friend, someone at work? Do you have clients? Maybe you can take the calls at work where you speak English, but to find those opportunities where they can be supported. And some of them did find, other English speakers who said, yes, during lunchtime, I will speak English with you and things like that. It could even be their colleagues. But just in case, there are so many online opportunities. There are free online groups. For example, one of the things, it's not specific to learning English, but there are people who learn English, and it's an iPhone app and it's free, is this thing called 43 Things. So I'm going to show you this iPhone app, and maybe some of your students would like it. If not, it's an online community too. And it's called 43 Things. This is what it looks like. Let's see. It says, I'm doing one thing, and it says learning English. So it's this free iPhone app. You can type anything you want. It's so simple to use. I've just done it. And then what it does is it encourages you to write an entry. So it's a community, and you join these groups that are common to the goal, and you write, and it's a free online thing, and you write an entry every day about the goal. So it's very motivating. It's great. And you can even do it on your, if you have a smartphone or a cell phone that has apps, then you can do it there. Another one that's really good is, and it's a whole community, so people comment and say, oh, great, I'm not doing so well on my goal, oh, that was a nice tip, things like that. But there's other ones. You can do the gap filler community. There's My English, My EC, which is another great community. I mean, there's so many communities out there to learn English, so you're more than welcome to type some that you know of inside the box that you know of, and you can just add the list, and that'll be part of, I can do that and add that to the resources. So yeah, any type of English language community I think is really great practice. There's just so many. Okay, and then the next one, I want to show you one more app. It's not necessarily a community, but this one, this goes back to the goal statements, and this one is called, let's see, this one is called Simple Goals. So let me type in these names. So for you, first you have the 43 Things app, and then you have Simple Goals, and these are two very nice free apps for goals. Simple Goals is you have to write specific statements, and when you write specific statements, all you do is you type it, and then you put a check mark every single week that you accomplished this or you did this. But it has to be specific things. Like, for example, it works well with my student statements. If they say 30 minutes twice a week, I'm going to listen to English radio, then all they have to do is they just, after they type in that statement, they just click this green check mark once a week. And to be motivated, they shake the phone, and the phone will come up with a motivational quote. So I shook the phone, and then it came up with a quote for me. So every time I feel like I'm not motivated to accomplish my goal, it comes up with an inspiring quote. So students who learn that way are inspired by quotes, then that would be a really good way to, a good app for them if they use apps. Encourage them to document their progress. I used to have my high school students every day, first thing before they came in, when they went into class, they had 15 minutes to write in a diary or journal. And they could, these weren't graded. I would read them just so that I could establish trust, relationship, and get to know my students. But it was just private. It's for them and then for me. And also that I could see, you know, different things they were struggling with and stuff like that learning English. And it helped me to get to know them and how to help them. And I think it's really important. If you have time, then if not, then have them do it in the blog, have them do it in 43 Things or something like that. Now, I want to know your ideas. How do you approach goal setting with your students? And if you would like to take the microphone, you're more than welcome to. I think that all you have to do is, okay, I can give everybody a mic. Okay, so everyone should have audio. So if you would like to talk about a good resource or a way that you get students to do goal setting, you can either type it in the chat box or you can share it with voice and stuff too. And please feel free, any blog posts, any website, anything that you want to add as far as a link or anything like that, you're more than welcome to add. Okay, learning fun. And do you have a link to maybe any of your own? Sue writes a lot of ESOL courses. You should check out her website. She writes so many fantastic lessons for students. Okay, okay, that's great. To discuss what students want to learn and agree to a plan. I think that's really important. The students have to agree to accomplish a plan. It's almost like they're making, they're making that commitment. They're committing to something specific. Well, that's really good, Maria. I mean, that's benchmarking in a way, to go over the syllabus and then to take what's been covered in the process. I think it's really good that you have something that they can see, because students need to see this. They need to be able to see charts or something that says, okay, we covered this, and they need to be able to check it. So when they say, when you do that, perhaps, with the syllabus, you say, we did the listening, this is where you should be able to do this, things like that, then they'll be able to say, yes, I can do that. And then, they feel like a champion. Yay, I accomplished something. So yeah, I definitely think that's important. Yeah, Liz, that's a great idea. It's good to have them, when you sit with them, to also have them write out what they think they've accomplished. And then to compare your list, to let them know before they see your list of everything, you have charted that they've accomplished, that they can write down and they can say, okay, what was my, improvement, my goals. Make them make them write down their goals. So Maria Lauda said, make them write down their goals. Once the discussion is over and the goals are clear, keep them like a time capsule and see if they've accomplished them at the end of the year. Oh, very, very, very good idea. And if you actually put it like in a time capsule, then that's fantastic too. That's fun for them. Yeah, and I really think that's important, that goals are clear. The students have to be able to understand what they're trying to accomplish, which is, it's good that we start off with, I know we have the European Union framework, and so it's good to make them into more interpretable goals, something that the students understand, not with the big jargon or language or anything like that. So those are good ideas. You can continue to share. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. But here is my information. If you need anything, you need a certificate or anything like that you attended. And if you want the website that I have with, it's a post on this topic, then you can go over there and you can visit. That is a clickable link, so you can go there and you can bookmark. And if you need anything, just email me. I'm Shelly Terrell, and I will see you next week here at American TV.